We are catalyzing change. We are trying with the Plastic Initiative, with UNEP and MacArthur Foundation, to actually grow the number of committed companies, but as well countries. We have about 162 companies and one country that just signed the commitment to the Plastic Initiative. OECD estimates that plastic pollution represents 3.4% of total emissions. So we have a long way to go. We need to measure in a coherent way, in a way that we can compare as well across industries, because industries are polluting, and individuals, of course, but not as massively as industries.
Well, in order to combat plastic pollutions, we are rethinking entirely the model of the games, particularly to reduce the need for plastic, to do more with less. Also to do better by thinking the consumption of the goods that we will need for the games, and then do for longer, by securing a second life for everything that we will be needing.
That if we want change, especially in the area of plastics and especially on a circular economy for plastics, we need an industry engagement. We need to bring industry along. Industry is key to find the alternative. Industry is key to identify the solutions that are required. It would be naive to think that without industry we can solve an industrial problem.
It's key to discuss together, because sometimes on the market you can reduce packaging, you can create a reuse system, but if you are alone, you won't succeed. It's not possible anymore. What we need today is to have the same level playing field for all the retailers and for all the goods sector in the world. So you can imagine, if we've got all the same rules, we will transform the market. And transforming the market, it's key today.
And you have to know that we increase our sales. Because of removing plastic bags, we increase our sales. And that is the success. And it makes sense. It shows that if you got the consumer with you, you can transform the market.
I think we are going to transform the market if we've got the consumer with us. And for the consumer, it must be convenient, it must be cheaper, it must be super simple. And I will say it must be funny. Because when you are consuming in a store, you want to have fun. So it must be funny. The circular economy, if it's funny and cheaper, we will succeed.
I think what is important is to achieve a global agreement on plastic pollution. That is going to be a very powerful message to all citizens, and that's what we need to try all to achieve. And then, of course, later on, we will work on the details.
It has to be with the power of the people, it has to be with laws, it has to be with the power of government as well, and bringing the private sectors, big companies into finding with technology, the solutions that can really bring a better life for everyone. Thinking about also a way of creating a policy with a human rights perspective, with inclusion, and as Pastor said, leaving no one behind. And that's why it's so important to share these places, to talk about this, discuss, and learn from others.
We need that sort of network because it brings together a host of partners, be it from the public sector, private sector, non-for-profit. It brings them together and it forces them, in a good way though, to find concrete solutions, and most importantly to also find ways of implementing them, rolling them out at scale as fast as possible. That's why we need more of it.